recording on OBS.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it's not picking you up at all.
Who is it?
My OBS. Or not my OBS, my Audacity. I know it doesn't. Well, it needs to, so I can hear.
I have no
guess
idea.
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because Audacity is only going to record input devices, not output devices.
Yeah.
Unless you had something like we have at KUR.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Fun stuff.
Doesn't really matter.
Okay.
It's just for me.
And starting opening now. I'll open us in. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we invite you to crack one open with us too. Here on the Paranormal Express.
Open a cold one with the boys.
Here on the Paranormal Express.
Anyway,
it's crazy not finishing that sentence as normal, but you know, here we are. So,
oh yeah.
So today, our topic of choice. It's gonna. I mean, let's not make it sound as grim as it's going to be.
No, let's make it more grim than it actually is.
Okay.
Let's just go super far with it.
Yeah, it's death gods. We're talking about death gods and how terrible death is.
Should add in some metal music right there when you say that.
Death
like
gods. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about deities that have their hand
Deities.
in how
From Dexter's Laboratory, deities.
Yeah, deities.
Deities.
These gods.
Yeah.
And
these gods.
Basically, we're going to be talking about their influence on death and what their hand is in the process, maybe the afterlife, maybe the underworld, things like that. Because, of course, that spans differently across many different religions and cultures and mythologies. Yeah. So
I think a lot of them are just... I feel like a lot of them are like a good explanation of them is just the translation of Thanatos.
Yeah.
Am dying.
Am dying. Well, can a death god die? I guess they can, because they do. In some cases.
A lot of them, they are dead, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I have you at 200%. Holy cow.
I don't know.
So...
I'm just hoping I'm reading Ching... I don't know what level's good on Audacity.
On Audacity?
I mean,
negative...
Audacity.
On Deadacity, negative 12 is pretty good.
Okay, yeah, that's where I'm reaching. So.
Yeah, that's really good there. So, okay. Probably would have benefited to have more of a test.
I can't hear you over the background music, by the way.
Can you not?
I need to. Yeah, no.
Yeah, just lower the stream volume.
Well, okay. Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I forgot I can do that.
I think I'll go
this
first.
This is gonna be a bit rough. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, this is gonna be a bit rough.
We're
We're play testing this new format. So, okay. So my first topic is going to be Anubis, also known under the name in ancient Egyptian Anpu, and you might recognize him as one of the most like badass gods
he's
for
the good
his.
boy.
Yeah, honestly, he is a good boy.
He's a dog.
Like they may quote his appearance as canine, but it is, yeah. Basically, Anubis is a jackal-headed a deity that presides over the judgment of souls and acts as a guide towards their afterlife, whether that be the good side.
In Egyptian mythology?
I don't know. Are there jackalopes in
They're in
the Mediterranean region like that?
Well, jackalopes don't actually exist.
Jackalopes.
They're a mythical, either North
Oh,
American.
I'm thinking of something different. I think I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's a jackrabbit with antelope horns.
Oh, that's gross. Yeah, hopefully they don't exist. But I don't know. There's that really weird deer.
Looks fine.
There's that really weird deer with a squirrel's tail.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what that one's called, but that it's like a fox with deer horns.
It's in the category of fearsome critters.
Fearsome critters. Nice.
Yeah. This is someone's like taxidermy of it. I don't know where to send it, to be honest. I guess general. That's where dead cord. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Discord. The easiest way to join if you want to is on our website, but yeah.
That's true. We've never shouted it out before. I guess it's ready to have people join it, so yeah.
Yeah, it's been ready for a while. I just haven't really done anything with it.
Awesome. I gotta start posting more in there. Yeah, the Discord honestly is a great way, especially now that we're like blowing through ideas, and not to say that we don't have any, because we come up with new ones almost every week. But if you guys have suggestions,
we have. I mean, I've brought up like that couple last week that we haven't done yet.
Yeah, exactly.
That
but
are based off ones we've already done. But yeah.
But it's always interesting to hear from you guys as to what kind of topics you want to hear from us in the future. And we'll definitely be able to get around to those.
I came up with like one earlier today, like, you know.
Yeah.
The circles of hell or whatever. I don't know if we ever were necessarily going to do that, but yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. We need to make a list.
Because I was looking at, I forget which page I was looking at, but I mentioned Asphodel, which is one of the areas of the underworld. And I just think it's interesting.
Areas of which underworld?
The Greek underworld.
Oh, Greek underworld, okay. It's funny how we have to specify that, but yes, we do. Because there's too many of them. So, Anubis. Interestingly enough, how it gained the appearance of a jackal is because at the time, before the dead were buried in great mausoleums, pyramids, and structures, they were just buried normally in the ground, not really set up like a normal graveyard, but just be burial sites. Jackals could, of course, have a great sense of smell, being canines, and could smell the bodies and would destroy these burial sites to find the bodies and eat them, especially if it was like times of not famine, but like there were less for them to eat, so they would go that direction.
Does that describe how he used to look, like before he was a jackal?
No.
Okay. I just think that's interesting when a deity has like an animal head, but they didn't always have the animal head.
Yeah.
The only other depiction I can think of that isn't real. It's or it's not a real mythology. It's from the Elder Scrolls, with Hersey, if you know him.
Yeah.
I assume you do, but yeah. He you know he has like the goat head, right?
Yeah.
The etymology of Hersey also means like goat-like or something like that in real life, because it comes from like Latin or Greek or something like that. But he has that goat head or elk head or whatever it is. Isn't his actual head? He just wears it. He slew an elk and wears it. I forget whose elk it was. It was like the prized elk of someone else, of another Daedra or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just what it reminded me of when you said that Anubis wasn't always a jackal or something like that. Or didn't always have a jackal head.
Yeah. So Anubis is like, or our understanding of Anubis, because we're retrospectively and from an outside lens, we're going to apply a god with a certain ideal from what we can understand, because a lot of what we understand from ancient Egyptian culture is translation, and that comes with a lot of difficulty.
It's also a lot of death rites, which is why we associate ancient Egypt with like the dead a lot.
Yeah,
even though that's just because that's what's the most preserved is their death.
Yeah, their ritualistic relationship with how they treat their dead and how they preserve them is really important in their culture, and that's seen through how it's done.
We don't know. Maybe their birth rights were also equally as important, but we just don't know anything about that. Yeah,
because again, we have to go off of very little written, more depictorial stuff on like hieroglyphs and what was in what's left of tombs.
True. Okay, because a lot of them got robbed.
Yes.
Just why King Tut was so important, even though he wasn't that important of a pharaoh. It's just because it was so well preserved and they like nothing had been robbed.
So they gave, because from what I researched, around the time that they had given this god the look of a jackal, he wasn't necessarily quoted as Anubis yet or Anpu yet.
Okay.
That we know of. We just know that they treated their dead a certain way, and then they wanted to offset jackals from coming and destroying their dead, so they thought creating this jackal god to give sacrifice to and praise to would stop them from doing that.
So originally he was like a god that represented the jackals that desecrated.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. So they believed the jackals were doing it out of some sort of retribution for not being praised. So they made a deity in place of this being that they thought was making the jackals do that. So they praised the jackal to stop the jackals from doing it.
Okay,
and then
that's interesting.
And then once they took on the process of embalming and preserving the dead, something Egypt is very famous for, and basically like produced the earliest forms of technology to do that, like using fluids and tools and things. It was around that time that they believed that during these practices is when the deity of Anubis judges a soul. Basically, a soul is put upon a scale and weighed against this feather of truth, a very, very light feather. So if you had even the littlest distrust, dishonesty, sin, anything like that, your soul will fall to the floor of weight compared to the feather, and then that soul is then fed to a great crocodile god, which is Amit, and basically within its stomach it dissolves and ceases to exist. However, if your heart is honest, true, and good, it will weigh evenly with the feather, and then Anubis guides your soul to the great field of reeds, which is something very similar to like a heaven in their sense.
It's
more
the positive afterlife.
Yeah.
Versus the negative afterlife.
But that's what's
sands, I think, right? Do they talk about the negative afterlife there?
They don't necessarily know.
I know in my knowledge of that is mostly right now influenced by Moon Knight, so which was the sands. I forgot they were called them, like the shifting sands or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be more of a purgatory, because from what I read, there's not necessarily a hell. Like they don't have, when Anubis judges these poor souls that are not good, they just become destroyed. And I thought that was interesting, is that it contrasts against other versions of afterlife where there's a heaven and a hell. They don't have a hell that enlists them to torment. Anubis is not a tormentor. He's not the devil. He's not banishing these souls to an eternity of hellfire. They cease to exist, which I mean is still kind of a horror to the people, because they believe heavily in this wish. They wish to live forever in eternity on after they die. As pharaohs wish to become gods. They enter godhood as long as they're preserved well. But Anubis doesn't necessarily banish them to any form of torment, and I thought that's interesting in comparison.
Yeah, it is.
Because when their soul ceases to exist, that's the least amount of punishment you can get. Those still seemed as horrifying in their culture.
Yeah. Because, the Duat is like the equivalent of calling it the underworld.
Okay.
The Duat is the name of the realm of the dead, basically.
Okay.
It's not equivalent to hell, nor is any one of these really. Because hell is hell, and like the other ones are them. Okay, and then it just starts talking about Ra's travel through the underworld. It's like, yeah, he does do that. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to find anything about that. Those sands.
Hathor, yeah.
Tawaret. I like Tawaret. I talked about her before. With wands. You know, 'cause she's the hippo. Lake of Fire? Oh, I know, that's the... Wait, there's a Lake of Fire in Egyptian? What? Oh, there is. What? Oh, wait, let me see it in ancient Egypt. So, you know how in like, I guess somewhere in the Bible, in Christianity, they talk about a lake of fire and hell, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently, in the Book of the Dead, they talk about a lake of fire in ancient Egypt.
Huh.
I'm just reading over it right now. Yeah, it just says a lake of fire frequently mentioned in the Book of the Dead. Papyrus of Ani. Huh. That's... Yeah.
Oh, okay. The field of reeds is called the Aru.
Oh. Is the Duat different?
Yeah, so the Aru is that field of reeds that is like their kind of heaven, the peaceful place for their souls to rest.
And
in
the
eternity.
Duat is kind of their hell.
And the Duat's the underworld where judgment takes place and the death of those souls happens. I don't know if they necessarily reside there. It's just a place for the gods to be.
They get put in the lake of fire. Yeah. It's also where
maybe the stomach of
takes his journey.
Ahmed is the lake of fire. Who knows? You know, stomachs are like lakes of fire. You know, bubbly masses of acidic juice burns things up.
All right. Yeah.
But so yeah, in short, Anubis is just a cute puppy preschool teacher guiding all these children to recess. You know, he's a good boy. That which like if you might see in a lot of pop cultures, just because something is related to death and judging, they make them seem more evil. Besides, of course, you know, like Abrahamic gods. But
true.
You know, they judge and they send people to hell, but they're good.
They give that to their angels.
Yeah. But in this case, Anubis, though being a judgeful person, actually, in some representations, while guiding people, he's literally like a mom. He literally like comforts them in the transition to whether or not they're going to
I would have liked to
cease to
seen him
exist
in
or
Moon Knight instead of Toilette. Although I did like Toilette, whatever it is. It almost sounds like I'm saying Towlet.
Towlet, yeah. A moist towlet. Yeah, so he's not a bad god. He's not evil in what he does, even though he is king over this area that is the underworld.
If anyone's evil, which even I guess it would be Amit, but I don't know much about Amit. But yeah, she could also just be a.
It just serves more purpose.
She just has a role.
Yeah, she just has a role that yes, it is the negative part of this, but it still is painless and tortureless in the sentence you get from being destroyed as a soul and left to not exist. Some people want that. Some people just want to rest. So who knows?
In the stomach of Amit.
Of course, you may have heard Osiris, who is like the true god of the underworld, but that was only after Anubis, because Anubis brought Osiris back to life after he was destroyed by Set. Because there's a whole story about how
it was more than Anubis who brought him back to life, but yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, it's his wife and
his wife gathers his pieces because Osiris is split into many pieces.
His pieces.
Yes. Osiris is split into many pieces by Set, and then it's Isis, right? Isis is his wife.
I'm not entirely sure, but that would make sense.
Okay. And when he was resurrected, he gained all this extra power and everything from it as he was resurrected. So,
interestingly enough, do you know who the most powerful Egyptian god is?
It's not Ra, right?
Nope.
Who is it?
It's Isis.
It is Isis. Wow.
Yeah, she learned Ra's true name and gained like.
Let's go, women! Woo!
Yeah, and then she got associated with the terrorist organization. You know?
Unfortunately, yes.
Even though that's a different culture entirely.
It is, yeah. No, it totally is. They're not Egyptian.
They have roots in Egypt at all either. They're probably in Egypt, but
yeah.
I'm just trying to see if she's. Yeah, Osiris and Isis became the most widely worshipped Egyptian deities. I'm just trying to see. It should say somewhere around here, like. Yes. No. Well. Yes. I forget that they do that a lot because I saw siblings Osiris and I was like, wait a minute, consort Osiris. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they do that a lot in these religions. Yeah, so she has a few different consorts, but yes, Osiris is one of them. Set is also like their brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that the guy who represents disorder, violence, and like storms in the desert, you know, he trusted him. What a trustworthy guy.
Oh, surely. There's
Yeah.
not a quarter ounce of chaos there, huh?
Oh, Horus the Elder's also her sibling. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why they call it. His name's Horus. I don't know why they call him Horus the Elder.
I don't know.
Do you have more to talk about with Osiris?
Nope, I can finish that.
You don't want to talk about his golden penis?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I only found about that recently.
From me, yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't meaning to turn Osiris into a main topic. That's just branched out of Anubis
okay.
and what Anubis was. So.
All right. Well, I guess since you talked about some Egyptian gods, I'll talk about my favorite Egyptian god, who happens to also be associated with the dead. I don't know how. I don't think anyone knows how. I think you know who my favorite Egyptian god is. They're the only reason they're connected to the dead, that as far as I know. Well, I guess their name kind of connects them to the dead, but they're in the Book of the Dead. Their name is the Smiter, or in ancient Egypt it would be Medjed.
Medjed, yep.
Medjed. There's like absolutely no information about this guy. Yeah, he's known as the Smiter. There's like, I know the name of the Smiter among them, who belongs to the house of Osiris, who shoots with his eye yet is unseen. And he's depicted with like a sheet and like 2 legs and some eyes. Like he looks like a sheet ghost, which I think you talked about before.
I did, yeah.
But that's exactly what he looks like, and that's essentially what I've already said is the entire information we have on him, besides like what's shown in popular culture with him being a video game character and becoming a meme and being popular in Japan.
Yeah, that's right. I talked about him because we were talking about Halloween. What's the word? Very common, very repetitive themes. Tropes. Yeah, we were talking about like witches and goblins and like just classic Halloween, and the sheeted ghost costume was like that classic.
We should do an episode on goblins, but yeah.
But
that's that's Medjed. I literally pulled him up as we were talking, as you started talking about Anubis, because I was like, oh yeah, why not?
I love. There's this one picture of him, ginormous, legs sticking out, climbing over a pyramid, shooting laser bolts out of his eyes.
Yeah.
No idea why. Besides, I think that
Japan. Japan's why.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I guess I could. I don't know how much I can really talk about this guy, because I guess I could read over some of the. Is this poetry? I'm trying to make sure this is actually poetry of him, and not just something written here on this page. But I guess I could talk about someone I mentioned at the beginning. Am dying. Thanatos, who is the name inspiration for Thanos in Marvel.
I have no doubt, especially being a destroyer.
Yeah, and the comics, Thanos is really associated with death. Like, death is an actual character in the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
I think it's a woman he's trying to, like, what's the term? Trying to date, trying to fuck, I don't know. I can swear now.
Trying to wed, trying to bed, trying to unionize.
Unionize.
I just my next bit is going to be talking about. I use the word union, but yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so he's basically just there. There's a lot of ancient Greek gods that are just personifications of things, and Thanatos is one of those. He's a personification of death, obviously. Similar to like Kratos, who is a personification of power, but of course he's more popularized from the game God of War and everything.
Yeah,
where he's an actual character, and for some reason becomes the father of a Norse god.
Yeah,
for whatever reason, it's weird. Isn't the new one's out? Isn't it?
Ragnarok? No, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet. Okay.
I hope it's not out yet. I'm missing it.
I'm just trying to find the actual descriptions of him and stuff, because I didn't write anything down for him. I usually don't, but Okay, so apparently I mean, there's always like I can read off his siblings, but apparently he's twins with Hypnos, which is the personification of sleep, I think, or the yeah, he's the personification of sleep. He's also a Pokemon, but anyway, but like yeah, so Thanatos has a lot of siblings. There's Moros, which is like the personification of like doom. There's Kiris or Keres or Kur, I guess, which is a death spirit, but it's specifically a female death spirit. If you've played sorry, I had to burp. If you play Skyrim, oh, they're personified of violent death. If you played Skyrim, the depiction here kind of looks like a hag raven. There's a bunch of other ones like Hypnos, some I've talked about before, like the Moirai, which are like the fates and stuff. There's apparently Styx, so I guess the personification of the river Styx, which is like the boundary between the living world, the mortal world, and the underworld. And there's many others. His Roman equivalent is Mors, not to be confused with Mars. But anyway, I don't see a lot here. Oh, here we go. So this is like an Orphic hymn to. There's a lot of like Orphic hymns for some reason. And Orphism is like the worship of death and rebirth in a lot of ways. Like there's a lot of gods that are Orphic gods, or like they have Orphic representations. So this one is for Thanatos, and so, hear me, O death, whose empire unconfined extends to mortal tribes of every kind. On thee the portion of our time depends, whose absence lengthens life, whose presence ends. Thy sleep perpetual bursts the vivid folds by which the soul attracting body holds, common to all of every sex and age, for naught escapes thy all-destructive rage. Not youth itself thy clemency can gain, vigorous and strong by thee ultimately slain. In thee the end of nature's works is known, in thee all judgment is absolved alone. No suppliant arts thy dreadful rage control, or control? They spelled control with a U, basically.
Gross.
British. I don't think that's British at all, actually. No vows revoke the purpose of thy soul. O blessed power, regard my ardent prayer, and human life to age abundant spare. So, this is a translation from the late 18th century, apparently. And this is just like a prayer to, or like a, kind of like the Lord's Prayer, I suppose, where it's just like, it's a commonly said prayer to Thanatos. Yeah. Something to invoke him to get him to like help you in some way, I suppose.
Yeah, that had a lot of death in it.
Yes. I like how you sound like you're dying right now.
Yeah.
Am death. Am dying. That's what it was. Am dying. Or the other one was I die. I was in parentheses, so it just means die, but the context is like I die. Yeah, it's interesting. Oh, okay. So this gets into like modern psychology and how like certain psychologists have like used various Greek gods to like, I guess, talk about the human psyche and stuff, which I guess kind of makes sense. But yeah, there's something called thanatology and thanatophobia, which I guess is the fear. It's the irrational fear of dead organisms. Okay, but it seems also, I guess, of death. There's also euthanasia, which kind of used the than in there, which means like the good death, obviously.
The good death.
Yeah, the good death.
Yeah, just give me some of that, the good death.
Yeah, because it's meant to be like a peaceful death, obviously.
Gotcha.
I mean, you know what euthanasia is. I think most people do.
Yeah. It's a medicated, medically induced death.
Yes. Yeah, there's nothing else really written. Well, I mean, there's plenty more written about him here. It's just, it's kind of hard to, like, there's nothing like I can like repeat or like that I haven't already kind of explained or said. It just talks about his depictions and stuff. Yeah. Well, apparently here they're calling it. Oh, this. Oh, okay. Well, I can read this. I found a passage from the Theogony, which is like the. I think Hesiod wrote it. It's just talking about all the different gods. So this is what he wrote in the Theogony, or I guess it's a translation of what he wrote. But and there, the children of dark night have their dwellings, sleep and death, awful gods. The glowing sun never looks upon them with his beams, neither as he goes up into heaven, nor as he comes down from heaven. And the former of them roam peacefully over the earth and the seas broad back, and is kindly to men. But the other has a heart of iron, and his spirit within him is pitiless as bronze. Whomsoever of men he has once seized, he holds fast, and he is hateful, even to the deathless gods. So this like depicts Thanatos as being a very hateful, spiteful, angry god. I guess that's just kind of how Hesiod viewed death. Whereas Sleep, although he calls him an awful god, he still says that he's kindly to men. He's fine.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's not too bad. Kind of freaking awful, but like not too bad.
Yeah, I guess Hesiod just hated to sleep.
Yeah, that kind of. I mean, I don't like sleeping either. Waste time.
What?
But like,
I love sleep.
I hate. Well, sleeping is nice. You got to refresh. You got to redo. But like, if I could just like blink and be done, and then it'd be fine. But I don't like that sleeping takes time.
Oh.
It'd be nice to like blink for 5 minutes and then you're good, like a goldfish, and then you're just like, then you just go on for the next 23 hours.
Yeah. I like the name of this god. Actually, I don't know anything about him, but he's a Greek god. Or no, it's a Greek goddess. She's a Greek goddess of misery, anxiety, grief, and depression, and misfortune. And her name's like Oisis.
You know, it's a great thing to help you sleep. Great thing to help you sleep is the Paranormal Express podcast, which you guys should definitely follow on your favorite podcast apps to make sure you keep up to date with when we upload new episodes, so that we can be the little tickle in your ears when you fall asleep. I know I like falling asleep to something playing in my ears. I always have an earbud in.
I mean, I do too, yeah. I listen to other podcasts and stuff. I'm stupid. Like, I know it hurts to like lay on the bud, so I always switch it. Oh, I don't do that.
And I take the time to do that.
Boom.
Yeah, I thought so. I saw it sitting by your bed. Not sponsored by Wonder Boom.
No,
or
we're not.
Ultimate Ears. Hey, Ultimate Ears. Okay.
Hey, Wonder Boom. No.
They had those really weird earbuds that came out that were like little bars. It's like they took the AirPod and went tenfold.
I just noticed something. I'm gonna go to his page just to make sure. I've never seen, outside of Hypnos, I have never seen another culture have a god of sleep.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Even though not that I can think of. There's Morpheus. Not Morbius. Morpheus,
And
which is
not Morpheus from the Matrix.
No. He's a god associated with sleep and dreams. But I think he's a Titan, or he's an older god.
So what's the Sandman based off of?
Mr. Sandman. Not Robert Pattinson. Is that Robert Pattinson? That looks like Robert Pattinson.
No, that's the comic book character, DC character. I've never thought about it.
He's a mythical character in European folklore.
Okay.
Who sprinkles magical sand onto people's eyes. So that's the explanation for, like, I guess the eye stuff. Like, if you have like,
when you got sleep in your eyes. Yeah.
That's what he's the explanation for that in European folklore.
Got your lid crusties, yeah. Oh, man, I don't know how gross you could make that before you're like
eye boogers.
Eye boogers, yeah. There you go, eye boogers.
Metallica's Enter Sandman.
Okay. That was more like Chad Kroger or something.
He is associated with Morpheus because the sea also is Morpheus, Greek god of dreams. So yeah, I guess Morpheus is associated with dreams, whereas Hypnos is just associated with sleep.
I just feel like there should be more, you know?
Yeah. but they're both Greek. There's probably a Roman equivalent, but like, yeah, I don't know of any in other religions. I could look them up though.
That's just interesting to think of.
Well, that's
Hypnos,
night deities.
Morpheus. Yeah, I feel like what that's interesting. Why don't they question that? They sit there and they go, I'm really tired. I need to close my eyes, and then it's morning. And then they go, oh, that's kind of normal, and then they just move on with it. But no, there's got to be a god for why leaves fall from trees. But all of a sudden, like, time passes in the blink of an eye, and they're like, nah, that's okay. Interesting. There's got to be something out there. It's probably
it might be like
it's going to be a very
like
small
night deities.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's a god.
Because almost
war.
every god has like 6 different things that they do, so it's probably slipped in there somewhere.
Usually, yeah.
Or it's like Aboriginal or indigenous or some kind of very small tribe that might have something like that that's a little bit more interesting.
I like that there's Apep in Egyptian mythology, the deification of evil and darkness. He was literally made to be evil.
That's funny.
And there's Khonshu, of course.
There's got to be a reason for everything, yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Newt, but I like calling her Nut. She's the sky, basically.
Yeah. Nut. The sky nut.
Sky.
Oh, that's a reference. That's funny. Okay. Cool. I'll go on to my next part then. This is kind of weird because this started out to supposed to be was supposed to be about Shinigami because I was interested in talking about them, literally gods of death. But it kind of branched into 2 pretty specific primordial gods in Japanese mythology. That one leads to being the idea of like the first one and then going from there. But this is also very confusing because I didn't do enough research on different websites. I kind of just sat on a few and then watched a video or 2, unfortunately. But let's see what I can get out of this. So I'm going to be talking about Izanagi and Izanami, which are 2 of the first deities born from the first gods of primordial Japan in mythology. These 2, along with this legendary spear with a lanyard of prayer beads around it, was used to create some of the first islands of the Japan archipelago, and as well as accidentally creating the first monsters as well, interestingly enough.
Yep.
They created this really horrible, imperfect union because they didn't do enough rituals and stuff, man. You know, so there's something about the importance of foreplay. They did not respect it, and then all of a sudden you got umbrellas with tongues and onis.
They created the yokai.
Yeah. So
I guess some of the first yokai. Yeah.
Some of the first yokai. Then they created more on accident. This kind of begins with after the first 8 births of deities under the Izanami. Kagutsuchi was the last to be birthed, and that was the god of fire. Now, Kagutsuchi was too strong, so Izanami died during the birth of him.
He's the fire deity, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The god of fire, sun's light, heat, things like that. Yeah. Basically, he was just a burst of fire out of her, and that was it. So, Izanami had passed to the Yomi, which is the shadowy land of the dead. And Izanagi was so struck with grief that he went to Yomi to search for her. However, Yomi is one of those places that even for these kind of level of gods is still a place you don't want to go. It's full of corruption, terror, trickery. Things that go there are supposed to stay there because once they enter, leaving is difficult because they just seep into the cracks of it and become different. Yeah. So Izanagi finally finds Izanami within it. But unfortunately, she had already, as they quoted, eaten the fruit of the Yomi, and it appeared to him in the later stages. Yeah. And appeared in the later stages of decomposition, just looked like a zombie, basically.
Yeah.
Izanagi was horrified, thinking that she had already succumbed to the curse of being in the Yomi, and was lost, so he tried to escape. She, of course, still recognized Izanagi, but was really upset that he was leaving her. So she's like, "You two-timing motherfucker." And in her despair and anger, Izanagi cursed the land so that every day 1,000 lives would be taken by her to death. Izanagi, in retaliation, however, closed the boundary to the Yomi that was on Earth, and swore that he would create 1,500 a day to offset that taking. So because she was the first god to start taking lives and killing, even though there weren't necessarily a lot of people around at that point, only a few deities and gods had been created.
Was Amaterasu around yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Amaterasu came as Izanagi felt dirty and unclean because he was in this like unsacred place. So he went to bathe himself in the waters and did a ritual there, bathing himself. And in that, he created Amaterasu. And
he created the sun.
He created Amaterasu.
After he had already created the sun's light.
So he had created. He created Amaterasu in one eye, and then created the Tsukiyomi in the other eye.
Tsukiyomi,
yeah, which the Tsukiyomi.
Man, there's a lot of Naruto here.
Yeah, so you might recognize these.
Yeah, they use those. They use the names of Japanese mythology of Shinto in there a lot.
Yeah,
like Izanagi, Izanami are in there. Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi. There's a lot of others, I think.
Yeah, which Tsukuyomi is the moon god.
Yes.
And then Amaterasu is the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in other words, just like
the sun goddess.
Great power.
Who was lured out of a cave by the erotic dancing from goddess of partying, I think, or drunkenness. I don't remember. Yeah, she got lured out by titties, basically.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Susanoo was also the other one.
Susanoo, yeah.
Yeah, which is the storm.
He's one of my favorite gods in Shinto. Yeah, I like it when people accidentally call him Susan.
Susan. Oh no, Susan. God. Imagine a terrible storm destroys your entire ship and you're like, Susan!
Susan!
Susan no Mikoto.
They must be a YouTuber.
Susan no Mikoto.
No Mikoto, yeah. I like that he, in one of his myths, he turned a girl into a comb to keep her safe. Turned her into a comb and put her in his hair.
That's one way to do it.
And I think I don't know if he married her, but she became like one of his consorts. I believe.
So
that was when he was cast down by Amaterasu. Yeah. Anyway.
Gotcha. So from this, then, we have what is idealistically the first Shinigami, this god that takes souls from Earth.
Are there any yokai that are technically Shinigamis just because they die, they kill things?
It's interesting. I don't know, because
anyway.
So in the Kakatobi, which is by Kawatake Mokuami, in the Meiji 19, which is 1886, a Shinigami basically enters people's thoughts, making them think bad things and have them.
Okay.
Rather than gods, though, they're more like ghosts.
So Shinigami are just representation of like intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, so that's basically what these are forms of literature that are basically coming to the conclusion that Shinigami supersede being guides of the dead and envoys of the dead. They're more things that cause death. An explanation for death in people that have either freak accidents or has no evidence of the reason why they died.
Would something be like a disease be a Shinigami?
Yes, if it has no symptoms or doesn't look like a sickness.
Kind of
so a heart attack.
How vampires are tuberculosis.
Yeah, so like a heart attack could have been a Shinigami because there's no physical evidence of a reason they died. They just keeled over.
Arsenic.
The same with suicides. a lot of double suicides were referenced that, because basically Shinigami are portrayed as these.
So like the forest of at the foot of Mount Fuji.
Yeah,
Is that a Shinigami?
it could be a stomping ground for many of them. Because especially in the Edo period, lots of Monogatari series had the influence of a Shinigami drive a relative or family. yeah,
or convincing them to kill themselves.
Yeah. So like the two most popular modern Shinigami are going to be either between the Bleach anime series or
Death Note.
Death Note.
Death Note is like very different though.
It is a lot different, yeah. Because he's still not helpful. He is a harbinger of death because he literally gives a human a tool to kill, which is more truthful to what they believe they were.
I mean, Rukia kind of gave Ichigo a tool to kill.
He did. She did. They did.
She gave him a sword. Although it doesn't work on humans, I don't think.
But I guess that could come back to this idea of like, what is death? Is it just?
But then again, I guess because he can take people out of their bodies, he can take their souls out.
Yeah.
And then he could kill their soul.
Yeah, totally. Leave them defenseless like that.
And that would be an unexplained death. Like, what the hell happened here?
Soul Eater.
Like whenever, yeah.
They're Shinigamis in a way, but they don't kill. They don't kill. They kill bad souls, the Kishin or whatever. But anyway, I thought that was interesting because, you know, if I had not done this research and just thought of Bleach, I was like, oh, Shinigami are guides, right? No.
I was confused for a second because I looked up, is there a Shinigami in the forest at the foot of Mount Fuji? And the first thing that comes up is Ashido Kano, which I don't know if you remember who that guy is.
I recognize the name.
He's from Bleach. It's the guy who's in the Forest of Menos.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
I'm just looking for that. I don't know. I don't see anything. Oh yeah, I forgot that it's called Aoki Gahara.
Yeah.
Something like that. Shinigami. I don't know. No sleep. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I trust r/no sleep. A Reddit that is famous for creating stories, spooky stories that may or may not be
to
real.
Put it into the end perspective, just Shinigami are spirits that can possess people to have intrusive thoughts that could lead to suicide or some form of death, and basically bring about death rather than be the counter to after death guiding souls. So yeah, that's Shinigami.
Go watch Bleach. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know about Shinigami. They're heroes.
They're still heroes in my eyes.
Does Ashido have Bankai? Who knows, honestly. Maybe. I guess I can move into my Eastern topic, I suppose. Eastern religion topic. You know, Yama. Who's he's similar to Hades in some ways. He has a lot of different names because he's a very cross-cultural deity, I guess you could say. Especially in his Buddhism aspects, his Buddhist aspects. Because I mean, Hinduism, it's like what, the third largest religion I think in the world currently today.
It's gotta be.
But it's like, I don't think it spreads that far out of of course there are Hindus in like almost every country around the world probably, but like predominantly I think most Hindu people or Hindu worshippers are in India.
Yeah,
I think still today. Predominantly at least, but of course like a lot of Hindu deities were adopted into the Buddhist because of course Buddhism I think was developed from Hinduism, but I don't know exactly.
Because Buddhism is more
from what I remember it being described to me, Hinduism is like, I forget how that was described, but Buddhism is like the way out essentially. Buddhism is like how to stop being reincarnated. It's the path on that,
Okay.
on the way out of that to reach nirvana, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exactly what Buddhism is, as far as I know, anyway. But I guess it depends on the variants, because there's like multiple different versions of Buddhism. Like there's the original Indian Buddhism, but then there's like Chinese Buddhism, which of course got imported over to like I think Korea and Japan.
Yeah, Japan has a lot of Buddhism.
Yes, it does.
As well.
I think it's their main religion. Because I don't think there's many worshippers of Shinto anymore. I think that's more so just a cultural thing now.
There are quite a few Christians there now, which is interesting.
Yes, there are. There are
churches and things like that.
But I think to a lot of like from what I remember seeing from like from people like watching people who live in Japan, like YouTubers and stuff who live there.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Japan are just not religious. They like not really anyway. Like they might participate in like cultural stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah, because I mean, it depends on how in touch their culture is with their religious aspects as well.
Yeah,
because there's things that it's just common courtesy to perform a prayer before you eat, regardless if you're spiritual or not. That's just socially acceptable, and that's what people do.
Unless you just aren't religious, then a lot of people don't.
Yeah, because I still see people who like don't care about religion say itadakimasu, which is like a small prayer.
True. But I was gonna say, like, if you watch like any anime that includes like a nun, the nun usually isn't very religious at all. Mm-mm. It's just because a lot of Japanese like artists, like manga, what are they called, mangaka, like the actual artist and author of mangas.
Mangaka,
yeah. They just like the aesthetic for some reason, and so they use it a lot. I'm sure some know
so many,
but it's funny,
like Christian-esque, like Abrahamic religion based stuff in anime, for sure.
But a lot of them are wrong.
Usually they're also
not
evil.
all of them are.
No, I like to think a lot of them are right because a lot of them are evil.
Okay, yeah, sure,
for sure.
That works too. I mean, I can understand why a non-Christian country that was Christianized would assume Christianity is evil.
Yeah.
Which you don't see. Oh yeah, I saw recently. The largest growing religion in Iceland is Norse paganism.
That's interesting. Okay.
It's coming back. But yeah, I guess I can talk about Yama a bit. His like in Hinduism, it's very similar to his Buddhist aspects. He's just like he presides in the underworld and he like rules over it. The reason he rules over it supposedly is because he was like the first to die. So he, through the virtue of precedence, I think they call it, he becomes like the leader of the dead, similar to Hades, I guess, in some ways. He's also, I forget, I'm trying to find the word that they use for it specifically, but he's like the protector of the southern direction. I'm trying to find the actual word for that. Because here it is. It's Lokapalas. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's they're guardians of the directions, and he's one of the guardians of the south, I think. That's what it says. Yeah. I don't know if I don't think he directly kills anyone. He's not like a Shinigami or Thanatos who like actually goes and collects the dead. Like Thanatos is also a psychopomp, which we've talked about before. Which I don't know if we talked about him in that episode or not. But yes, he collects the dead. But Yama doesn't do that. All I know is that he died, and now he leads the dead. At least that's essentially his role in death. Of course, like he's a very old god. Like he's one of the oldest Hindu gods, as far from what I can find. He was also worshipped as like a creator deity. I don't know if that means he's a creator of like humans or what, because it doesn't really say. But he was called Imro in Kamviri, which I might be mispronouncing that, but in like certain regions, but that's like an ancient depiction from what I can gather. And this specific area called like the Kitral. Yeah, so in Hindu, he's a bit of a, I guess it's kind of a, I don't know if Hades actually is like a judge in the underworld, but Yama is. Yama is like a god of death and justice, so he judges the dead and like decides whether or not they get to go to hell or heaven. Um, and apparently in their religion, like spirits or like the dead can spend time in both heaven and hell. So they'll spend like a certain amount of time in hell, and then they'll be allowed to go to heaven, and then they'll be reincarnated, I guess, into, depending on the form of. I think that was a Buddhist thing more than a Hindu thing, though. Yeah. So he's also like a wrathful god. So like he's often depicted as very angry, and there's a lot of fire. Sometimes I think there's storm clouds and stuff. He also has a sword in this one that I can see. Oh yeah, and he rides a water buffalo, which I think is interesting. Kind of like it just reminds me of the VeggieTales song. But that's it for him in Hinduism, at least. I'm just reading over some stuff just to refresh my memory because it's been a little bit.
I can talk some stuff. Yeah. So you might be listening to some of the things we're talking about and going, didn't you guys talk about psychopomps like a while ago? Isn't that kind of similar? Well, yes, kind of, I guess, but like more so is trying to just get an idea down. Well, because the direction I like taking some of my topics is just talking about how silly things get when they're lost in translation, and how they relate to differences in what we're more used to, especially since I assume most of our listeners are going to be from the West American. And probably American, English speaking. Yes. And how we can,
we do have a lot of listeners from, I think, Mexico.
Oh, well, bless you guys. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Yeah, our fourth most listened to country is Mexico.
Cool.
3% of our listeners.
3%.
Yeah, it drops drastically after United States.
I mean, that's fine. But still,
United States is the top, and then it's Canada, and then it's UK, and then it's Mexico.
We're glad you're here.
And then it's India.
Very cool. Okay.
And then Australia.
Interesting to see where we are derived to.
Yeah. Australia and Germany are the last ones with 1%, and then everything else is sub 1%.
Yeah. We'll get there sooner or later. We'll be 10% everywhere. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool, but that would only limit us to 10 countries.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That'd be a lot of listeners, though, to be 10%.
Yeah. 10% of a country to listen? Yeah, that would be insane.
So this is, out of every country that's listened to us. Which I don't know how many that is exactly.
Cool. Yeah. Did you have anything else on this topic, or?
Well, with what you said about, like, Yama's not a psychopomp.
Yeah.
He's more like Hades in that, and Hades isn't a psychopomp either, by the way.
Yeah, because they don't guide the dead.
They don't collect the dead.
They just preside over the dead. They just dominate the world in which they are.
If you want to get into a psychopomp, I can talk about Azrit now.
You don't have to, because we're approaching an hour now.
Yeah, we are.
If you're comfortable with that, that's fine by me as well.
I am. I'm just trying to find if there's more, because I didn't really talk about him in Buddhism. I can talk about some of his other names, I guess.
Because I know it's interesting. He appears under Shinigami when you look it up.
Yeah, because in Japan he's
in Shinto,
Enma.
Enma, yeah.
Enma Dai or Enma Odai, something like that. I'd have to find it again. My only experience, or like personal experience, I guess, with Yama is either Dragon Ball, whenever someone dies and they meet King Yama, or actually reading Journey to the West, because he's in that very briefly, when servants of his take Sun Wukong to the underworld, and then he's like, "What the hell? Why'd you bring me here?" And then starts killing them, because he's like, "I'm not supposed to die. I'm immortal." And then he takes his name and a bunch of other monkeys' names out of their Book of the Dead or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, I guess, kind of it.
That's kind of cool to be able to go to a place you're not supposed to be, ruin it, and be like, yeah, don't bring me back here again, brah. You know?
Yeah, he just beats the hell out of everyone, and then they're like, all right, let's leave this guy alone.
Like,
That's essentially what happens with Sun Wukong until he finishes his journey. Well, until the Buddha comes after him.
yeah.
Because that's the beginning of Journey to the West. He gets locked under a mountain by the Buddha. He also pees on the Buddha's hand.
Yeah,
But,
that makes about sense.
Well, the Buddha challenges him to jump out of his palm.
Yeah.
But the Buddha being the Buddha, he's like one with the universe, so he jumps to the like 5 pillars of the end of the universe and pees on one of them and then comes back.
Gotcha.
But then the Buddha's like, aha, that was my hand. And then he's like, and then there's like a waft of monkey piss coming off of his hand. And then he's like, haha, toodaloo, go under the mountain, be fed molten metal, I think. I think he's just fed molten metal for like 500 years. Until, I forget his name, but the monk comes and gets him.
Man, we should talk more about Journey to the West. It's great.
It's interesting, yeah. Inspiration for a lot of stuff.
Oh, for sure. It's interesting how novels are like that. There's literature works that...
It's one of the 5 great novels, I believe. 5? I don't know if there's 5. From China. Isn't it? Classic Chinese novels. What are they called? I thought they were called like the 4 classic novels. Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Journey to the West, Water Margin, and Dream of the Red Chamber.
Interesting.
And then there's the 6 classic novels, which adds 2 more onto that, which is called The Scholars and the Plum in the Golden Vase. But yeah.
And then there's The Art of War by
Sun Tzu.
Which apparently if you're a Marine, you have to read.
Huh.
Which is really interesting. Anyway.
Yeah.
I own it for some reason.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have it at my house. You can borrow it sometime if you want. It's actually pretty cool. It's just cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being on board this episode of the Paranormal Express.
Yeah, you don't know how to end this, do you?
Yeah, it's I keep trying to say stuff and I stop.
Yeah.
You know.
You can find us on our social medias, or you can find everywhere you can listen to us at on our website, paranormal-express.com. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Have a great night, everybody. And hopefully the talk of death has not brought up any existential crises or anything like that.
Yeah,
so.
hopefully not.
All right. Good night.
Toodaloos.